It was a rainy Wednesday afternoon, November 24, 1971. The weather was gloomy, setting an ominous tone for what was about to unfold. Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, a Boeing 727, was preparing for a short hop from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. The flight was routine, with nothing out of the ordinary expected. Among the passengers was a man dressed in a business suit, seated in 18E. He appeared to be just another business traveler, blending in seamlessly with the other passengers. He went by the name Dan Cooper, later misreported by the media as DB Cooper, a moniker that stuck. This small error would become a part of the legend. He ordered a bourbon and soda, a drink that would become infamous in the annals of aviation history. Nothing about him seemed out of the ordinary. He was calm, composed, and gave no indication of the chaos he was about to unleash. Little did anyone know they were about to become part of one of the most perplexing mysteries in aviation history. A mystery that would baffle authorities and capture the public's imagination for decades. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper passed a note to a flight attendant. At first she thought it was just another passenger trying to flirt. It claimed he had a bomb and demanded $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. The note was clear and concise, leaving no room for negotiation. The pilot, Captain William Scott, contacted air traffic control and relayed Cooper's demands. The gravity of the situation began to sink in. The FBI was alerted and a plan was set in motion. Authorities scrambled to respond to the hijacker's demands while ensuring the safety of the passengers. The plane circled over Seattle-Tacoma Airport for nearly 2 hours as authorities scrambled to gather the ransom money and prepare the parachutes. Time seemed to stretch endlessly for those on board. Passengers, unaware of the imminent danger, remained surprisingly calm. They had no idea that their flight had become the center of a national crisis. Some even chatted with Cooper, finding him polite and courteous. His demeanor was disarming, making it hard to believe he was a hijacker. He sipped his bourbon, smoked cigarettes, and patiently awaited his demands to be met. His calmness was unnerving, a stark contrast to the tension building outside the plane. Outside the plane, the news of the hijacking spread like wildfire, gripping the nation with a mixture of fear and fascination. People were glued to their televisions, eager for updates. At approximately 5:30 p.m., the ransom money and parachutes were delivered to the plane. The tension was palpable as the exchange took place. Passengers and some crew members were released in exchange. Relief washed over those who were allowed to leave, but the ordeal was far from over. Cooper instructed the remaining crew to fly southeast toward Mexico City, maintaining a low altitude and slow speed. His plan was meticulous, leaving nothing to chance. The plane, now a shadow against the twilight sky, disappeared into the night, carrying Cooper and his ill-gotten gains. The mystery of DB Cooper had just begun, leaving a trail of questions that would haunt investigators for years to come. It was a risky plan, fraught with danger and uncertainty. At approximately 8 p.m., somewhere over the dense forests of southwest Washington state, Cooper did the unthinkable, defying all odds. He lowered the aft stairs of the Boeing 727 mid-flight and jumped into the darkness, vanishing into the night. Heavy rain lashed down and winds howled through the trees, creating a chaotic and perilous environment. It was a leap into the unknown, a desperate gamble for freedom and survival. The pilots, following Cooper's instructions, continued flying towards Reno, Nevada before landing safely, unaware of his fate. The plane was immediately swarmed by FBI agents, but Cooper was gone, leaving them baffled. The only trace of him was the empty seat in 18E, a few cigarette butts, and the lingering smell of bourbon, a haunting reminder. The man who had hijacked a plane and vanished into thin air had become a ghost, leaving behind a trail of questions, mystery, and a legend in the making. The FBI launched a massive manhunt, combing the rugged terrain where Cooper was believed to have landed after his daring escape. Hundreds of agents, along with local law enforcement and National Guard troops, scoured the forests, rivers, and mountains, leaving no stone unturned. They searched on foot, horseback, and by helicopter, their hopes fading with each passing day as the vast wilderness seemed endless. The weather, unforgiving and treacherous, hampered their efforts, with heavy rain and snow making the search even more difficult. Leads were scarce and the mystery deepened with each passing day, leaving investigators frustrated. The hijacking and Cooper's audacious escape sent shockwaves across the nation, capturing the public's imagination. It dominated headlines, fueled endless speculation, and became a fixture on evening news broadcasts, with every new detail eagerly awaited. The public was captivated by the story of the cunning outlaw who had outsmarted the authorities, turning him into a modern-day folk hero. Who was D.B. Cooper? Cooper? Where did he come from, and how did he pull off such a daring heist? These questions haunted investigators and ignited the imaginations of armchair detectives alike.